Hello everyone, Seraphin here, welcome back for more Castlevania, Aria of Sorrow. When I last left you guys, we had just taken down the Headhunter boss. The first real boss of the game, I should say. Do you know the story of Amanoiwado Shrine? Wow, did I pronounce that right? I have no idea. As much as I would like to be able to speak Japanese, sadly I cannot. In the story, Tensho Daijin hides herself in the shrine to calm Susanoo down? I don't know what that means. Oh, Tensho Daijin is the sun. The act of hiding symbolizes an eclipse. Interesting. I wonder if that's a real life, like, folklore tale too. I'm willing to bet that it probably is. Huh. How interesting. He feels relieved now, which is good, because he has all of his health back, too. So, when I last left you, I was looking through Hammer's inventory, and I have some stuff I want to sell. Oh, I did get some tea. I wonder where that came from. We don't need this other Basil art any longer. We really don't need the combat knife anymore, either, as much as I like having it. We don't need the bastard sword. I want to keep the whip sword because it's unique. You can't get anything else just quite like that at all in the game. I want to keep Hrunting because it does different kind of damage. I wouldn't mind having the katana for like a swinging arc weapon, because neither Grom nor Hrunting do that. Don't need this axe, or this rapier, or this lance, or this partisan, or this cloth tunic. Ninja suit. So this still has an attack bonus like the samurai armor does, but it's one less, but it does have 3 more defense. I think I'll hang on to that. Don't need leather or copper plate. Iron one's got a nice chunk of HP on it. I think I'll hang on to that. Don't need a scarf. Yeah, we can keep the rest of this stuff. What was it I was looking at buying it for? I totally forgot. Excuse me. Ooh, that's a lot of defense. You know what? Why don't I... No, I think I get something better than that pretty quickly coming up here, so I'm going to hold off. That's alright. Now that I'm thinking about it, why don't we equip that ninja suit? And we'll equip Grom. 73 attack. And look how much... Look at the range on and speed on this sucker. Like, that's obscene. Speaking of which, I hadn't gone up here yet. There's a nice little token up here. It is a lucky charm. Kind of like a lucky charm you would buy, for example, at a Japanese shrine. Imagine that. And I think it's more luck than my heart pendant. Yep, 2 more. So we'll equip the lucky charm. More luck is never a bad thing. And now we can resume where we left off, which was, I was in the inner quarters, making my way through that. I'm trying to remember what the next area of the castle is, because I'm going to be honest, I don't remember. What's after the inner quarters? I think it's the clock tower, and I'm really hoping it's not, because I do not like the clock tower. But, you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the clock tower. Great. Ow! Stupid Kyoma demon. Kyoma demon. Jerk. I get the idea that it's supposed to be like your inner demons because it's reflecting on yourself, but it still doesn't make it. See how you missed them in the first hit and suddenly they're impossible to friggin' hit? Stupid Valkyries. The best part is there's a stronger version of them and more annoying version of them later on in the game, which I cannot wait for. Let's go down here. $10 says there's a save room in this area that I just totally missed out on. That's alright. I think Hrunting was killing these guys in 2 hits, wasn't it? Probably because they're weak to sword and poison. So Hrunting might be better to have right now in this particular area. Let's put that back on. Oh, jeez, I forgot about her. That is a Lilith, I believe. It's like a succubus kind of deal. You'll see she's naked. and has wings and is... Yeah, I'm pretty sure yeah, this definitely is better against the Persephones. Another partisan, cool. Yeah, Lilith, I'm fairly certain, is a succubus-type demon, something to that effect. Don't quote me on that, but considering there's also a straight-up succubus in this game later on that looks exactly like that, but with different colors, I'm gonna say they're the same thing, pretty much. Lilith actually has a pretty nice soul, too. She's got +4 intelligence for a soul effect as a passive ability, which isn't too not too shabby at all. More witches. It's like a magic barrier spell she puts up that prevents damage from being dealt to her. There's her fireball spell. That's another door. I think that's the clock tower. I'm gonna hit myself if I'm right, but I'm pretty sure I am. Just so you guys are aware, if I haven't already made it clear, clock tower, least favorite area of the game. It is the worst. It's very tight quarters, but also it's all vertical. A lot of moving parts, a lot of spikes, a lot of really irritating enemies. It's not my favorite. It's probably the most challenging in terms of navigation in the game that I'm aware of. There's a couple other areas that are a little annoying too, but that one takes the cake. I think clock towers in every Castlevania game actually are some of the more annoying levels. It's certainly that way in Symphony of the Night, I can tell you that much. Clock tower in that game is hecka not fun. Fireball! Oh, pfft. Hey, a witch soul. Repels bullets with shield, so I think that means I get that barrier spell that she uses. That's pretty neat. Probably won't be using that very much. Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm not using this flying armor much anymore either. Why don't I go ahead and put something else there, like the witch soul? It's the only other one I have. Yep, so that's cool. I get like a little shield to put up. That's neat. I like that. Top floor. So top floor is actually the last area of the game. I'm not going to be going through it right now because A, I'm not strong enough, and B, I can't quite reach it anyway. It's actually up there. But I'm kind of walking through the bottom part of it to get to the next area. Best music in the game, too. I lied. I already said that about a couple of things. Third best. So here we are back in the main area of the castle corridor. I believe I know where I need to go next. Not looking forward to it, as I said, but you gotta do what you gotta do. Now that I'm thinking about it, maybe I'm wrong about that. Might not actually be the clock tower next. Might be another area. There's another area in between, I'm fairly certain, but I guess we'll find out when I get there. Anyway, moving on. We're gonna go this way first. More zombies. Love them zombies. You'll notice that when they're emerging from the floor like that, they don't actually hurt me until they're totally all the way out of the floor. So you can walk over them stepping out of their proverbial grave, at least until they start walking around. And then they start hurting you. I still can't quite get up here, and I think that's the only place to go this way. Yep. So we're actually going to head the other way instead. And now that I'm thinking about it, yes, the next part of the game is this way. So, I was wrong. The clock tower is not next. However, the area that we get to go instead of the clock tower is just as bad. Yeah, this first quarter, I may be a quarter of the way through the game now. No, not quite. Yeah, I mean, I guess more like a quarter of the game, about that way. Maybe closer to a third, I'm not sure. Between a quarter and a third of the way through the game. Let's just say about 30% maybe. And this is what, episode 9? So you get it's gonna be a bit longer than Metroid was. Not substantially longer, but long enough. And this game actually does have multiple endings, depending on certain circumstances. So I'm gonna be going for the good ending, only because it's really the only one that I like. The other ones are kind of dumb. Is there anything else I can grab in here? I don't think so. Yeah, we're gonna go for the good ending, just because it's the best one, and it's... Honestly, it's the only one I've actually seen. Because when I play through this game, I tend to complete the necessary requirements to get it every time. It's not hard. It's not hard to get the said requirements. In fact, it's very easy. But if you don't know how to do it, then it's confusing. In fact, they kind of make it a little bit of a like a puzzle to try to figure. Did he just fire his arrow backwards and it bounced off the wall? That was weird. I've never seen that before. At any rate, there is a specific set of criteria you need to fulfill to unlock the good ending of the game. And the game does not overtly tell you that, but it does kind of hint at it. And there is a very specific way that they go about hinting at that, but I'm not going to tell you until we get to that point. Because I don't want to spoil it for you guys either if you're hoping on trying to figure it out yourself. Needless to say, the good ending involves adding a good half an hour to the length of the game, actually, too. So here's an example, another one where I need to use the Undying Soul to get on top of the water, and then jump off of it. Moving on up here. So yeah, I was wrong. This is not the clock tower. This is the floating gardens? Hanging gardens? Floating gardens. And this area is just as annoying, if not worse, than the clock tower. We need a cockatrice. If anybody has watched Good Mythical Morning, you know what a cockatrice is. And if you didn't before, you do now. That is their mythical beast of choice, is the cockatrice on that show. I love those guys. Everybody I know loves those guys, actually, so... They're good people. I will never be anywhere near as charismatic or popular as they are, but that's okay. I'm not really shooting for that. I just do this as a hobby, really. I needed a creative outlet and decided this was a way to go about doing it. I wouldn't mind having a bit more viewership, but, you know, the channel's only a couple months old, so I'll take what I can get. I know the few of you that do watch regularly I'm very appreciative for. Dead Warrior Soul. Deflect normal attacks by pressing up and B. This is another one that I think is mistranslated because I can't figure out how it works. It says use up and B to deflect attacks, but I think there's a very specific situation that you need to do that in. Like, I think it's got to be like right when you would take the damage. You need to activate it right at that exact second, otherwise you still get hit. And I have not mastered that timing by any stretch of the imagination, so I don't know for certain that's how exactly it works. I would love to be able to tell you that I do. Oh, what is that in the map over there? I want it. I want Z-map. I think I gotta go this way to get it. So this is another one of those examples of areas that is very vertical, in that I'm running these little platforms to get high up in the level to get to other areas, but that being said, though, too, it's a little bit of a maze in here. There's a bigger, greener Catoblepus called a Gorgon. That's not what a Gorgon looks like. Not a mythological Gorgon, at any rate. That breath of his still will turn me to stone. And there's Imps, which is a great combination. Hey, speaking of, Imp Soul. Summons Imp, the Familiar. I don't think the Imp Familiar is all that useful. So we won't be using that one. There's more imps. Was there a platform? Yes, there was, and now I gotta wait for it again. So the way the floating garden works, I'll show you more once we get up to the top of it here, but you'll see it's like this square area with 4 little sections to it. Navigating different areas of the sections is more difficult because, like I said, it's a little bit of like a maze, kind of. But that's alright. I can't go through that way because there's a big pillar there, which sucks because I think I need to go that way. Level up from a red crow. Not a blue one, but a red one. I was going to be really annoyed if I needed the flying armor to get across there and I didn't have it equipped. So, now we're moving on. You'll see we're not actually in that center square area anymore. We're up on these floating squares on the top of the castle map there. And you go from one of these floating squares to the other when you go from one edge to the other. However, it's not a straight line across. As you can see, we went from one to like the middle one here. And actually, if I were to go backwards right now, I think I would end up in a different place than I came from. No, maybe not. That being said, that is the case with some of the other ones. So if I go to the right side of this box and then go back the way I came, I will not end up coming back to this one. I'll go to a different one. It's kind of like the Lost Woods sort of deal from Zelda, in that the same path does not always go to the same destination. That being said, we are going to navigate this otherwise maze in the next episode, because I don't remember anything about it and I might need to refresh myself. So that being said, thank you all very much for watching up to this point. We're about 9 episodes in. Like I said, I think it's about a third of the way through the game, so we're making good progress. But that being said, I will catch you guys in the next episode. So thank you very much. This has been Seraphin. Stay classy, internets.